Are you struggling every single month and you feel that you're living paycheck to paycheck? Well, these are the 8 things that you should be doing with your money every single time you get paid for long-term success. Hi, my name is Jennifer and welcome back to my channel. I am a Christian entrepreneur, investor, and I also hold a PhD in biblical studies. These are the 8 things that you should be doing with your money every single time you get paid in order to have long-term success. So I've been making videos since 2018 on YouTube actually. If you look back on my channel, there's a lot of videos still sitting from all those years ago. And I was teaching about money and investing and the basics of actually building businesses. Now I haven't been making videos for about 3.5 years due to a personal circumstance. And during that time, let's just say the quality of the knowledge that's been put out there on YouTube to help you with your money and investing business has not been exactly what you needed. And I am here to give you the 8 things that you need to be doing every time you get paid so that they are in your long-term success. And the great thing is, all these come from the Bible, which is the greatest textbook we have for long-term success and in your best interests. So the first thing you should be doing every single paycheck is giving and tithing a minimum of 10% of your total income. Now, for a lot of people, I know right away you will say that's ridiculous. Why should I give my money away? It's mine. And that is the thing. This is a principle that changes your heart and your mindset. And it's a commandment in the Old Testament that we should still be applying today. You see, every time that I have committed to giving 10% of my income, God has made sure there was food on the table, there was a roof over my head for me and my family, even in some very lean months. And actually in the Bible, there is a verse that says this is a time where you can prove God's goodness in your life. It's in Malachi 3 verse 10, and it says literally, bring your tithe to the storehouse and God will open the windows of heaven on you. And it says, prove me wrong on this. If you tithe, if you give that minimum of 10% or whatever feels right to you, then God will ensure you are looked after with what you truly need. And the other thing is just wisdom, that nobody was ever poor from giving. That's what a lot of society is missing now, is that heart to be generous. Everyone's thinking about hoarding. And this principle will lead to your long-term wealth. You see, we are going to be judged on how we steward the resources that we're given. And so when we're handling our money correctly and recognizing that God gave us 100% of that money, we're only giving back 10% as a minimum requirement. That's not really a lot. So a lot of people would ask, well, where do you give to every month? This is really where prayer comes in. Ask God where you're meant to give that tithe and giving to. It could be your local church or organization that you go to. It could be something that you want to uphold and support in your community. God will give you that answer in prayer, I have no doubt. The next thing you should be doing with your money is aiming to save 20% of your income. Now, it makes common sense to keep some of your income and not spend it all. But this again is actually a biblical principle. In the book of Genesis, we hear about Joseph, and he advised the Pharaoh to save 1/5 of his produce because a famine was coming. I personally believe God's going to put great things in your life. And so you need that cash available if you need to change life in some way. It could be a new job, a new place that you want to stay in, a new car, just a different expense than you had planned. I would break this down further and say, let's try and aim to invest 10%. And save 10% as that minimum. I'm saying invest because that can be in the stock market, in your business idea, in other people, in yourself, because that's you actually multiplying the money far faster than you could do on your own. When we're saving, we're usually picking a bank account and that's stuck with whatever percentage they will give you as that saving rate. When we invest in the stock market or other businesses or other people, well, that's limitless depending on what you choose. So really we're stewarding the money that God gives us and allowing it to multiply and grow without you giving up more time in that respect. The third thing you should be doing every single paycheck is eliminating debt as quickly as you can without life suffering. Now, I am not going to be one of these people who tells you you've got to live on rice or cereal for months and years in order to be debt free. I do think there's a balance and it has to be the way that suits you and your life to not suffer. Now, that being said, in the Bible, it makes it clear you are a lender, not a borrower. And that means debt is not something that we should have. We shouldn't have credit card debts, loans, car payments, anything like that, where you've borrowed money for large expenses. Because often there's a huge amount of interest added, and that's not in your favor, that's in the lender's favor. And so my suggestion is if you've got your spending plan or your budget, whatever you like to call it, put debt repayments as a priority above some other choices. I even like to think of it as, can I make 10% extra minimum payments? So can I just increase it by a little bit? And the difference you can make to pay off debt is incredible, just by even applying an extra £1 or £5 or £10. Two methods to check out, and I'll go into more detail on those in the future, are the snowball method and the avalanche method. It's all to do mathematically with what is the best way to pay off your debt. Do check those out on Google right now, and there's information on my channel about those methods already as well. But those are certainly the two best methods of paying off debt as quickly as possible. The fourth thing you should be doing every single time you get paid is diversifying your incomes. And again, this is wisdom straight from the Old Testament, and it talks about having 7 or 8 income sources. Now, when you think about it, actually breaking it down and having as many incomes as possible makes sense. Particularly in the modern world, we're encouraged to have our main 9-to-5 job and that's it. But actually, we should be switching to more passive incomes. So passive income is where you're not giving up your time for money. It could be investments, savings. It could be you're selling your gifts and talents. Let's say if you're creative, you're doing Etsy, you may be doing music streams, doing courses, books, anything like that, where actually you're creating what you're good at, but then people are able to pay you for that without you giving up your time for money. And as I say, the Bible makes it clear the estimate we should go for is between 7 or 8 income sources. And I like to think of it as like pipes coming into my house. If I only have one source, one way in, it's very easy for that to get shut off and broken. If I've got 7 or 8 and I'm working with God to create the best that I can out of those, then there's lots of ways that I can make income and bless my household with the resources it needs. So I'm going to challenge you with this. It's something I do as well. Is there one extra income source that you could start this year as a priority? And if you need inspiration for business, of course, make sure you subscribe to my channel. There's plenty of videos planned and plenty of videos in the past as well. The fifth thing you should be doing every single time you get paid is giving every pound or dollar a purpose. It makes sense, doesn't it? But if you have no idea how to spend your money, then it's simply going to be spent for you. And I call this a spending plan. I don't really like to use the word budget because it can feel restrictive. But if you give a purpose to everything you earn, then it's going to multiply what values to you. You see, often I can look at someone's bank statement and tell what habits they have, what's their priorities, and probably even their vision for the future. And that's the scary thing. You want what you're putting your money and your time into to be building up to the version of you that you want to create, the vision that you know is possible. So if you've got overconsumption of takeaways, or perhaps you're watching a lot of movies, those are habits that are serving you maybe short term, but long term, you don't want all of your time being used for them. And while you're building that spending plan, I would actually say think about having 1 to 3 months of available cash for your living expenses. Often life may have to change suddenly, and having your expenses covered for a couple of months allows you just that breathing space and that calmness to know that you can realign and then get new priorities in place. The next thing you should be doing every time you're getting paid, don't tell anyone, but you're actually meant to have fun with your money. You're meant to have joy. I know not a lot of content creators will be telling you that, but in your spending plan, add in fun. You're meant to be doing the things that you love and enjoy. And that could be playing a sport, playing in a band, it could be playing a musical instrument, going to a particular place, the cinema. Put it in your spending plan. Make those memories with yourself and your family as a priority. See, the Bible makes it clear here as well. John 10:10 says, the thief comes only to steal and destroy, but Jesus came that we can have life in abundance. God wants us to have the best possible experience of life with joy as well while we're working on our plan and purpose. And that means having these elements, using resources to actually make the memories and the joyful things that make you happy as well. Now, I'm not going to tell you don't need to pay your council tax or electricity bill. We have to pay those, but put some spending in your spending plan so that you've got the little moments throughout the month that you're looking forward to as well. The seventh thing you need to do every single time you get paid is you have to invest in the things that you know about and also you want to multiply in the world. I've talked about previously looking to invest a minimum of 10% in the stock market or other companies to multiply your money more than you can. But you really need to know what you're investing in. We cannot be someone who simply doesn't want to know and just give people our money, because ultimately your money is investing in what that person believes and is going to create in the world. And so make sure you do your research. I will always share the best I can about some of the investment choices, how to build a portfolio so that you can do it and be sure of what you're investing in. But use Google, find out what are the managers of that company actually doing, what do they believe, what's their faith and background as well, what's their vision for the future, what are they doing in terms of how they look after their staff, their business structure. There's a lot of information online that you can figure out, is this actually a company I want to be part of? And make sure you're avoiding anything that you do not want to support yourself, such as any ethical or moral issues. The final thing I want to encourage you to do every time you get paid is to read the Bible and pray about what you've to do with your money. This is actually the most important and fundamental habit. You see, God has given that resource and He has got a plan for it. We're just allowed to look after it for a certain period of time. And so what I will do every time I get paid is I will pray and ask, okay, where or who is this money to go to? Now, obviously there's some things like I need to keep a roof over my head, my household bills need paid, I need to put food on the table. But outside of that, what does God want me to do? And you will get the inspiration for perhaps a person to support, a cause to give to, or something in your future that God wants you to create. It could even be that business idea He wants you to start. It's all very exciting. But every time you get paid, take those quiet moments, sit and pray, and allow God to speak to you either through reading the Bible or whatever way He speaks to you normally. One thing that I'm very aware of is I will be accountable for all the actions I make with how I deal with people and any of the resources that I've used to build the life I created. And so I want to ensure that I'm inviting God into my life because He has the best plan for me and my family, and I want His wisdom. So I really encourage you to do that too. So which one of these habits are you going to put into place today? Is there any that really spoken to you? If you have enjoyed this video, I would love if you would check out some of my other older ones. I'm making a lot more new content as I've come back to YouTube. But if you hit like and subscribe, it means that somebody else hopefully will find this video useful as well. If you'd like to check out more of my work, I'm available on social media as well. I have Instagram, Facebook, X accounts that you can go and check out, and they are all blue tick verified so you can know it's me that you're following. But thank you so much for watching today. I'll speak to you very soon.